Got a project update for you guys on Pearl here. Just wanted to kind of show you around some of the things that we've done, things that you might consider doing. So first off, we mounted our computer in the stock location. We weren't able to reuse the one that was on the OBS vehicle. These computers are enough different. And our production manager, Joel, had this fantastic idea of actually cutting the top off of the LS computer mount and cutting the bottom off of the OBS mount and then screwing them together, and he just did an absolute glorious job. This looks really good, really clean, and I know some of you guys like to hide that a little bit more, but I do kind of like the stock look of it. It's a little bit easier as well in some ways. Then here we have our electric fan relay box. It's in a really good, nice sealed up, weather tight, 3 relays, comes with 2 40 amp fuses, and then we're powering that by the fuse box here that we've actually installed a fuse tap. That's the first way that we're going to try, because it's so much easier than repinning and everything like that. So we're trying that out here to see if that works, and so far it's doing really good for us. Then I wanted to draw your attention to one of the funny things, one of the things I love is I built this here out of mostly used parts that was just found around the shop there. The only thing that I didn't have a cone filter or this 90 or this reducer, but this was off of a different project. These are actually 3 little pieces that I cut up, and they're just that coupler that goes together, and then I taped them together. And then this 90 here, which I've put the MAF sensor into the direct middle of, works out great, gets stuff out of the shop, and didn't cost us a whole lot. So I'm really excited about that part of the project. We'll start down here with the steering box. We put in a brand new Borgeson Kwik ratio steering gear, and we also have the Borgeson steering shaft attached to it. Now that's going to do away with the biscuit, and it's going to turn it into just a solid U-joint. We'll see how that actually goes. I really wanted to test that out. A lot of people really like the performance that gives. I do want to see as a daily driver if that does give too much road feel back through the steering wheel, but you know, I'll keep you guys updated on that. Then these are our power steering lines. We do have a universal power steering hose kit. This is actually a prototype to see if we wanted to make one specifically for this P-Series power steering pump. And then we've gone the extra step here on this build of putting this same wire mesh covering over the top. It's just a plastic nylon covering, but it cleans up the lines a little bit, makes it look all universal. This is our Edelman P-Series power steering pump. We have 2. One of them is Hydro Boost, but this isn't a Hydro Boost Blazer, so this is just the standard. And it's a brand new pump. It's all brand new rather than being remanufactured, and so that's the way that I wanted to go on this build. And then a PowerMaster alternator, so high output, reliable. So if I do add a little bit of a sound system later, this alternator being 165 amp, more than enough to keep up with that. Let's move to the other side of the engine. When you're doing an LS swap into an OBS, one of the things that you're going to have to figure out what you want to do with is the steam port. You can either plug those off. I didn't want to do that. That's not the way GM did it. And so we actually plumbed ours, and we're using this right here. This was a barb coming out of our OBS radiator that was with the vehicle, and it was just plugged off. And so what we've done is we've come in here. This is, I believe, a 5/8 barb. We've created a 90 here, and then we just started reducing it down because this back here is 1/4 inch, and we weren't able to readily get our hands on anything that reduced any faster than this. And so we did just a nice clean job of getting it down there and getting around. It's going to do the job, we think, and we'll keep you updated on how it behaves, because I have heard some people say that the steam port and the non-sealed system, because the LS is actually a sealed radiator system, can cause bubbling in the tank, but we'll see how that goes, and we'll report back to you. Wanted to do a drive-by cable throttle body, because that's the way that the OBS engine was anyway, so it didn't require mounting up a new pedal. So this just mounts like here, and you can into your LS intake. They have a little mount there. Nice black, plugs directly into the firewall. Worked great, easy to install, no problem. Here for the fuel line, we've done something a little bit trick. We've converted this over to AN here, have a nice gentle soft line going to a hard line that we've made that then goes down so that we have hard lines going when it gets close to the hot exhaust. A little bit safer, a little bit cleaner, a little less likely that something goes wrong. And then that drops down and goes actually into the old OBS fuel system via a Corvette style regulator. On the AC side, we have a Sandin mini compressor, which is the same one that Vintage Air uses on their front runner system. Will be more than enough to do a two-door Blazer. Now, if you had a Suburban or something like that, you might want more pump capacity than this one has. And in that case, you'd have the HD, which sits over in this area here. For this one, wanted it nice and compact. We have our AC lines that we have in-house, so if you're doing an engine swap or you're just wanting to switch over to a Sandin compressor, we have the brackets you need in order to do that, to mount up to your Chevy engine, and then come over here with these AC lines and hook up to the stock dryer that goes into the stock evaporator. These AC lines lay nice and clean, and they're also worked in here with a trinary switch, so we'll be able to control these electric fans with a high and a low pressure cutoff, so that'll be good. One of the little things when you're doing a swap like this, it's some of the little touches that can really make it look a lot better. And so one of the things is this tank here, the one that I had, I pressure washed it, I put vinegar in it, I put super clean in it, and it was still yellow, it was still nasty. These are $20 at O'Reilly. It is a really easy way to clean up your engine bay, save you some time. So I just wanted to mention that as a, an aside of this is an item that I would recommend almost everyone changing, because the old yellow one really reflects poorly on the rest of the build, even if you did a really good job. So let's go wrap it up for the update. And we have a few more things to do before we go on a real shakedown. We're going to get this oil pressure sensor sorted out. Need to have an exhaust put on it. I'm going to keep it a pretty quiet exhaust. I still am going to use this for quite a bit of commuting, probably 50 miles a day or more, and dropping off the kids and everything. I really like listening to my podcasts and my music in the vehicle, so I'm probably going to keep the drivetrain pretty quiet. I know some of you guys think that's terrible, but that's the way I like to build mine. And if you ever see me out at a show or something like that and you want to see the truck, or you just see me out in public, feel free. I'd love to show it off to you, and then also talk to you about what you're doing on your vehicle. We'd love to help put cold AC in your truck. And if you have any engine swap questions, electric fans or whatnot, we'd be happy to answer those. Give us a call. Thanks.